Did this happen before?
Yeah, we had to go through this procedure before. So, yeah, we had to go through this procedure before. Okay, well,
We should probably go back to Zoom and maybe just put that on silent, on the actual video there on silent.
this video. We had to go through this.
There.
Yeah, and go on to Zoom there.
I'm gonna
Okay.
check it.
So, okay, so we've just welcomed the people who are coming in from live stream. We've got over 20 people here now. It's lovely to see you gathered there in Gaza. I just want to check with Hossam and Jamal whether the other people who are joining us through Zoom.
They are coming.
I just want to check that the other people in Gaza who are joining us on Zoom are actually able to join us.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. Jamal, there's one issue that I have, and that is the other people that you mentioned that would be joining us on the Zoom link with Gaza. Are they actually joining us? Because at the moment, we only have the link there from here with the Tishreen cafe.
I see. I will send them a message to remind them that we start.
Okay, so as soon as they want to join us, they just have to simply join us, and I will
Yes.
obviously get them into the meeting. Maybe I mean, there's a group of people here. I suggest that we don't go through introductions at this stage, but that perhaps later, when we've finished the initial part of what we're going to show, that we actually then introduce people. But it would be good to know and hear the other voices from Gaza. So you guys that we're looking at, speak to us, tell us something, say hello. It's lovely to see you. Welcome. Marhaba, marhaba, marhaba.
It's lovely to see you.
Good, good. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen. Yara, hi Yara.
Hi.
Nice to see you. This is Yara. Yeah, good to see you. Okay. All right. So, hello everybody. It's nice to see you all as well in London. Hi Gregory. We have some guests from France joining us. And I think all the rest of the people are Londoners. But listen, my lovely friends in Gaza, what I want to do first of all is I want to just introduce our project to you, because I would love to know what you think of the project. As I'm going through the project, if there's things that you want me to stop, say it again, you need a translation, or there's some point that you want to make, that goes for anybody there, then please do just stop me and say, but I just want you to know more about the work that that Hossam Jamal, Theatre for Everybody there, and As Theatre here has been doing over the last 12 years. So I'm going to share my screen, and I hope that that will give you the images that we need.
I will just mute us from our side. I will mute us because I want to make some translation during it, whenever needed, without interrupting the presentation. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I need to actually do that here in this. So record is.
To the right. Further along into the green one.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm just going to record this session because apparently the live stream that we were hoping would be effective is not really working as well as we thought it might. So I'm going to record this and we'll make it available later. And I'll send it to the people that have registered to join us on live stream. Okay.
If you've got the space, record it on the computer.
Right. That's the lady from Zoom. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, my friends, I'm going to start, just give you a little bit of an idea about what we've been doing. This is a long-term project that started in 2009. And I'll tell you why and what we were doing. In 2002, when there was a re-invasion of the West Bank and Gaza, after the second Intifada of 2000, we ran an event in Trafalgar Square, which is the largest public space in London. And we got people to read out the words of Palestinians and conveying their experiences during the course of that re-invasion. And that you can see that we got together a nice group of actors, and we started this idea of using drama and reading and as a way of making contact with Gaza and our feelings about what was happening there. Okay, so I can't seem to change the don't quite know why I can't move it on from there. Maybe that will help us. Yeah. Okay. So in 2007, you'll remember, Hossam and Jamal, that we did a public event from Soho Theatre here, and we got a mic plugged into a speaker telephone, and suddenly the space that we were in was full of your voices and your experiences, and we had this exchange between an audience here and you there in Gaza. And this made us start thinking that far back that it was interesting to make this kind of contact. And once again, not really able to change this just make sure I can get this other. I know. Okay. So in 2008-9, I had a phone call with Hossam and Jamal, and it was during the cast-led operation, and the bombs were falling in the background, and I swore to myself that I would start a project that linked us up in some way, that we would work together to create work both there and in London. And this project that started in that year, 2009, was based on your production of Arabal's Guernica, and we put on a corresponding event at Soho Theatre where we raised money and actually sent it to Gaza and as an act of solidarity. And this was the graphic that we use, which is a montage done by Emma Sangster, who's done a lot of our work on the graphics. I'm just going to have to try to let people in. But it's just that I can't make this operate. It's just, I can't find a way of actually making it. It's just not here. The cursor isn't there. So I can't. it's in this sort of powerless situation where nobody can really help this man struggling with technology. But I can't get the, I can't, no, I know, exactly. Well, nobody really knows how. I can't.
Oh, does it not?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work so well. That
Is it a wireless mouse?
it is a wireless mouse, and it's got. Thank you for asking. Those are really useful questions. But no, but I mean, still. Okay, I think what I'm going to have to do is to abandon this technology because I don't think I can make it work successfully. One moment it works and then the next minute it doesn't work. So yeah, but even that isn't working.
No, it's frozen somehow.
Yeah, so I've got a frozen computer. I can't even. Can Gaza, people in Gaza, can you say something to us to try to see whether I am actually able to speak to you and that you can hear what I'm saying?
Do you want another computer?
I don't believe I do because I've got the all the
Another
material
mouse?
on this.
Have a mouse.
I'd love another mouse, but I don't think that's.
Is it something to be on the map?
It doesn't really, not normally, no. I can't even unblock the computer so that I can go back to, you know, it's escape from the full screen. So it's completely blocked.
Let's try escape. Try force kick
Yeah,
keynote. Will it, yeah, just press return.
this.
Yeah. Yeah,
Shall I force
Again.
quit it?
yeah. There's the mouse back. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. I believe,
Hi, some people trying to get in. Can you accept them,
yeah,
Yes.
please?
Participants.
Participants. Yasmina was waiting.
yeah, no, she's in, Yasmina, and Yara is in. Yara is in. But I can't, it's not showing up on my screen. Up.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Yasmina doesn't hear it.
I think all of those people, they're all in. Yeah. I could try. I think it's working. It's just that it was blocking each other. Yeah. Thank you. That's fine. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I don't think I mean, I just take advice. I don't think that I should show the work that I was going to show because I think it's going to block it up. Do you think?
She's talking.
I think if you show slides and record and YouTube, you're probably overloading the computer. You can probably still show us those videos because once you press play, they'll run. But it's just the slides that we might.
And that will involve me screen sharing.
Yes, I mean, we just have to try it. But
Okay.
into these whole videos, you know?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to screen share again and see whether I can get it it working. So I think that's what I want to do, and then no, that
Then you
isn't.
just need to open back if it's in Keynote.
Yeah.
So it'll be in Keynote down the bottom if it's the slides, or is it in the?
Well, the slides is in Keynote, but it's on
videos
this.
there.
Yeah, no, what I've done is I've not opted to share when I should have done. So I'm going to stop sharing, turn that off, and try sharing again. Screen share, share. No,
It
it's,
just depends, what do you want to share?
well, I want to share my screen, so presumably they can see that's in front
Yeah,
of them.
everyone, yeah.
So then what I want to do is I want to share that. But it really doesn't want to play ball with me because I've got the videos on there. Okay, let's see whether we can. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Wow, you poor people. I'm so sorry about these technical difficulties. Anyway, I was explaining the beginnings of the project and now I'm going on to explain what we did first. And that was this project, which we called Gaza Breathing Space. And it was 2 rehabilitation centers, one in Jabalia and one in Deir al-Balah, where we were collaborating with Theatre for Everybody to run creative sessions for young people in both those rehabilitation centers. And this was going by April in 2011. And Maysoon Pachachi and I tried to get in to Gaza in the April of 2011. We couldn't get in. And in the November, I managed to get in, and I shot a film there. I mean, this was after several months of the project coming to an end, but nevertheless, we did find people who, we interviewed people who'd taken part in the project. And I came back with this footage. Maysoon took a look at it and said, well, she thought that there was a film in there. And through the magic, her magic of the editing studio, she did produce a wonderful film. I won't play the whole film, but I'll just show you some part of it, just to give you a little bit of an impression about what the results of that film were. These are two mothers talking about the impact of the program on their children.
Are good for the young people, the children, because our children is our future.
And this is the camp here.
Yes.
This is the camp. Yeah.
I live over there.
Yes.
You see that palm tree?
Yes.
It's near my house.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Big
So sometimes I came with them and played and acted. It was so great. Maybe because I didn't have the chance to have this kind of activities when I was younger. So even I try to make my children participate in this activities.
You have children?
I have 4 children, 17, 16, 13 and 10. I got married when I was 16.
Yep.
That's why.
Yep. Yep.
I didn't have the chance even to participate in anything. Now I'm trying to make the children to have what I didn't have.
Yes.
You know, that's what makes me like working here with the children.
Yes.
That's what makes me looking everywhere and trying to make them, you know, have beautiful things, because you don't know what's waiting for you in the future. So try to live your childhood.
What do you remember about this work that you did with Mohammed in the drama? What do you remember?
بدي اسالكم ايش ذاكرين المشروع البرنامج اللي اشتغلتوه مع استاذ محمد تتذكروا؟ ايش اكثر شيء بتتذكروا السنه؟
ابدا واحد.
لما كنا خجلانين علمنا انه ما نكونش خجلانين. خلانا يعني مثلا حدا يحكي لي اسمع له.
It makes us listen to the one who is speaking. يعني هذه الاشياء اللي تعلمتوها منه.
كان يلعبنا حاجات كثير كنا نستفيد منها.
What exercises do you
ايش
remember?
ايش اكثر تمرين تتذكريه او تحبيه؟ كيف
كنا نلعب هيك مثلا نسيت بس نتذكر اسمها.
تتذكر
حاجة نغير مثلا نحكي حركة تانية مثلا كورة نغير حركات تانية فيها.
هذا اللي عملته انا معكم هون.
كان يخلينا نمثل مسرحيات.
he was letting us play. Yeah.
So the stories. Tell me one of the stories that you thought of in the session.
حدا بتذكر واحدة من القصص اللي قلتوها في هذا؟
Come on.
يعني الحين أنا والمجموعة الثانية كان الحين أب وأم وبنت. الحين البنت بتسأل أمها يما شو طبيخنا؟ تقولها فاصوليا. تضلها تقولها شو طبيخنا فاصوليا. ليلة أجت تروح على المدرسة اللي هو أبوها حكى لها ما تروحيش. اللي هو أبوها حكى لها ما تروحيش على المدرسة يعني صار زعقها. وأنت جايبانا المشاكل يعني اللي هي بتقول ليش أنا ما جبتلكش ولا مشكلة يعني حدا يعجب شكى عني. أنا
بتحكي بس انت ترجمها.
كان مثلنا عن الحروب وهذا
he was acting also about.
كنت يومها أنا مرة
She was the mother and she was pregnant.
Yeah.
كنت يومها مرة حامل مثلا كان زلمة وجوزها.
And she has a husband and she was pregnant. She was laughing to me.
Yeah.
طيب.
كيف يعني تمشي وهي حامل؟
She was walking as pregnant woman.
ورا لما ركبنا السيارة كنا نحكي له كيف شو يعني كنا نحكي شو نشتري للولد الصغير وهذا حاجات زي
بتعرف تورينا كيف كنت بتمشي انت؟
أنا
يلا ورينا كيف كانت تمشي. Now she will act how was she walking while she was pregnant.
ركزي شوي. ركزي ها. لا قد بتقدري تركزي ها. أجمعك؟ أنت معها يلا روح. He was pregnant.
بدنا نركز عليه مش هي كانت تركز عليه.
So that was part of the film, and you can get a feeling of what the impact of that work was for those children and perhaps for the people that were working in the rehabilitation center. The woman that you heard talking about how she wanted to give beautiful things to her, the children that she was working with, the beautiful things that she may have missed in her own childhood. She was somebody that said that she would like to see a project that dealt with the isolation between the hearing children and the non-hearing children. And we decided to go with that idea. We created a partnership with a school in London, in Westminster, called College Park School. And we worked, and Hossam and Jamal worked at Deir al-Balah with young people who were capable of hearing and those that found it difficult to hear, in order to work on drama with them both. And also at the same time, they trained non-hearing young practitioners to deliver drama workshops. So I just want to show you that was the graphic that we used. It was called Gaza Opening Signs. And that was our idea about sign language. And we were interested in using sign language as a way of communicating. And this was the opening event in London. I mean, it's quite important in Gaza that you understand that we are trying to bring together people here in London around the project, creating support and creative activities. But this was the launch at the Globe Theatre in London. And at the end of the opening launch event, we did this song by quite well-known singer in this country called Leon Rosserson, led by Palestinian singer Reen Kilani. And it was all signed. So I'll just show you a little bit of this.
في يوم السبت 22/9/2012 على خشبة مسرح الجلوب.
One more time, scream. When all our olive trees will rise
So we were running these events in London, connecting with Gaza. I mean, the trek, for example, this is a young practitioner who's explaining why it is that she wants to become a workshop leader. The sound is a little bit difficult at the beginning of the video, but she's saying that the reason why she wants to learn how to be a drama workshop leader.
I'd like to learn drama and theatre because I wish to learn that from all times. Because I wanted to be able to express myself, and also it's something mainly related to the others. I need to learn drama to help children with hearing difficulties like me to express themselves and to be able to share their fears and dreams, and to break the silence and build up relationships.
So we started then, after that project was completed, to start the development for the War and Peace project. This was the idea that we had, was to present in Gaza an Arabic version of Tolstoy's novel, which we were going to be presenting at the El Mishal Theatre. And we started the workshops and development. Hossam did the translation. Naeem Nasser, the director, started working on the adaptation. And we got to the point where we were going to launch it in the September of 2014. And in the build up to that, that launch, of course, there was a massive and vicious attack on Gaza, and that forestalled our work. We couldn't go forward with the production because of the war. The war had lots of other consequences apart from the fact that we couldn't carry on working. But that interrupted our work, and we ran an event that was where we had writers from the UK, Carol Churchill, Hassan Abdul Razak, writing pieces of work that were presented at the event, but also we presented work by Hossam. Hossam had written during the course of the war, each day, a record of how he felt about what was going on around him. I'm not going to ask you to listen to that at the moment, but we certainly got that material, and it's valuable material, the record of a man and his testimony and his attempts to protect his family during the course of that 2014 invasion. And we published them with these pieces of artwork by Basil Makosi from the Shababik project in Gaza. And he's obviously using the same kind of photo montage between a kind of Picasso picture and photo. So I'm just trying to demonstrate that this can give rise to creativity in a lot of different forms and a lot of different ways of expressing things are come about at times of great stress and crisis, just as ideas about justice very often occur at moments where we confront injustice. So that was what we were doing there. Theatre for Everybody was approached by a lot of young people during the course of the production of War and Peace, and we decided to use the money that we gained from the events that we ran in London and we decided to put them towards a youth project in Gaza. We called it Unforeseen because we didn't know what was going to happen. And then we ran events presenting the work that they did and then exchanging with young people in Gaza about the work. So I'm going to show you one of those spoken word videos and show some of the discussion that was happening in the event that we ran between Gaza and London. There you can see some of the young people in Gaza. This is what we showed. The first man will be talking about his experience of theatre, and then quickly it will go on to the spoken word video.
Help us to just be ourselves and not to pretend to be someone else. To me, when I am into acting, I feel I am shaping myself when I am into acting.
Beyond the horizon, under the sun, in the heart of the skies, tranquilly it lies. It has the enjoyable warmth of the sun, of a stove, in a windy day. Eternal lights it gives that reach every soul. Identical to the music of a violin, it resurrects your buried body. It offers you a life, not any life, but the one you always desire. An eagle soaring over all oceans. Without a mere pause, you become, once it touches you, freedom.
How would you describe freedom? What is that to you? صعب شوي بس إنه بس.
Yes, I'm the one who wrote and spoke about freedom, and my words were already explained. Like when you are free, you are like a bird. You are like an eagle soaring over all oceans without a mere pause, running towards the sun without finding any restriction. This is freedom. Like it is like an indescribable feeling that everybody in the world must have.
I have wings in my mind that help me to soar.
So this is
Your parents
at the end of the event. I'm sorry, I'm sort of cutting into it. At the very end of the event, this was. I'm just going to play that back.
My question is, it's very important actually. Do you really love us? Oh, thank you. That's one kind of freedom that we have just got. Thank you.
So we produced those events. We tried to get a production group of young people in this country to relate to a production group in Gaza to see whether there was a possibility of working between the two locations. And we did exchange a couple of videos, one beautiful piece that was produced in Gaza about a group of people having to choose which of them would go through the border that day, would get out of Gaza that day, and had to tell the stories of why it was important for them to leave Gaza. And likewise, we produced a piece of work here and we made an exchange. And then that project happened, but we didn't pursue it any further than that. We found it difficult to sustain that work and sustain the group. So we moved on. The last performance of War and Peace was accompanied by an event here at this gallery called Here, There, Everywhere, where we mounted an exhibition of Gaza artists and we showed 2 films, Ambulance by Mohammed Jabali and Voices from Gaza. And we organized a series of conversations between theatre makers, mothers, teachers, filmmakers, community activists in Gaza and in the UK over a week. It was a packed program. And what we were trying to demonstrate was this capability of using the spaces that we had in order to make direct contact with people in Gaza. So that then in August of 2008, the Israeli Air Force destroyed the El Mishal Cultural Center in Gaza. That's the place that you've already, well, you haven't seen the inside of, but that's where they put on the performance of War and Peace. And we attempted to build a campaign here in order to rebuild the cultural center. And we collaborated with Hossam and Jamal, and we conducted a research project in Gaza where we were asking artists to talk about the need for a rebuilt art center. So we were preparing to make a film. This led us on to 2019 when we were about to make the film, and at the beginning of 2020, the pandemic really threw a massive obstacle in our way of pursuing that work. But during the time that we spoke, to Hossam and Jamal, and they wanted to produce a piece of work, and we decided to go forward with the production of The Emigrants, and we got the money together and they started the rehearsals of The Emigrants. In the middle of that rehearsal period, there was another attack on Gaza, and this time more dreadful and more arbitrary and more scary for the people in Gaza. And the rehearsal stopped. I spoke to Hossam and Jamal about what they were going through. I thought they were in a very, very difficult situation, desperate situation. But going back after once the hostilities had calmed down and they were back in rehearsal, they were back working with their lovely director, Naeem Nasser, to produce this piece of work. This was an event that we ran with artists from all over Palestine, both in Israel and in the occupied territories and in the world, in various different parts of the world. We acted as a kind of a facilitator for a conversation about the events that we'd seen in May of 2021. When I was talking to Hossam and Jamal about what was needed after the war and the destruction that the war had wreaked, they said support the children. So we ran this project. We got the money together and ran the project, and they ran 60 life skill and resilience sessions for children in 5 different centers around Gaza. The children, from all reports, were in a dreadful state, and this was a drop in the ocean, but it was an attempt to help and to make a creative response to my that's Shuk arriving. I'm admitting him. So now, can't believe this. I've lost the video of the emigrants. Now I wanted to show you extracts from.
Maybe just go back to the stop share again. I think it's when people enter that somehow the computer can't remember it.
Okay.
So maybe
So.
just go back to share screen.
What's it? Okay, well done. Thank you. Okay, so I want to just show some excerpts from this piece of work. It's an adaptation of Mrozek's The Emigrants, and the play has got two characters played by Hossam and Jamal. It's one is an intellectual and the other's a worker. It's written by a Polish writer. It's set in the West. The two characters are in a basement, and in the world above, there's New Year's Eve happening, which you will hear about during the course of the excerpts that I'm about to show. And it is really this work that we're wanting to make a response to, but also to see whether there's any, inspiration here or from the other things that we've done that can help us to understand how to continue our project. So in the first excerpt, the worker, played by Hossam, is nostalgically looking back at the time when they were able to hear and feel the music of the flies in the homeland that they come from. And
شوف الدبان هان، شو دبان، ما فيش يا راجل ولا دبانه لا هان ولا في المطبخ ولا في الكرادور. ما شفت الكاس دبانه وانت قاعد هان؟ لا اصلا عمرك ما راح تشوف هان فيش عندهم دبان.
انا بدي افهم بس ايش اللي جاب سيره الدبان على بالك هالقد؟
هي وجودهم بريحني يا اخي. اسمع، طب ايش كنا نسوي في البلد انا واصحابي؟ كنت المسا هيك اطفي ضوء الدار واخلي لمبه واحده، بعدين اجيب ورقه دهنها دبس ولزقها على اللمبه ويصير الدبان يزن يزن، والله صوته احلى من الموسيقى تبعتك. بعدين بنزل الورقه على الطاوله، بهجموا الشباب ياخذوا الاحصى وانا باخذها برميها. يا الله ايش بتذكروا هذول الشباب. قول لي يا استاذ، انت مين بتتذكر؟
انا لا بتذكر شيء ولا بدي اتذكر شيء. انا ما بس.
Oh no, I don't want to switch the whole thing. It's okay. Okay, in the next excerpt, the worker breaks down because he can't bear the idea of going back home and not having what he set out to have when he actually made his emigration. So this is the next extract I'm going to show you.
اسمع كلام ابوك يا اما سافر. اسمع كلام امك يا ابو عيال، سافر. واني صبرت سنه ورا سنه ورا سنه ولا حوشت حق بيت ولا حق تذكره السفر حتى عشان ارجع. طب ايش بدهم يقولوا عني؟ هامل تغرب على الفاضي. والله اشتقت لامي، اشتقت لمرتي واولادي، اشتقت لك يا ابا. الله أكبر. ليش طفوا الضوء؟
صارت راس السنة، كل عام وانتم بخير.
انت بخير.
نحن حمقى نسير على غير هدى.
So in the next extract, the workers he saved up all his money in order to go back and to buy a house and to have a car and to go back and live the life in where he comes from, in the homeland. And the intellectual is pointing out that you go back and you're the slave of the regime, but if you stay, you're the slave of money. And this is the next extract I want to show you.
بس انك تاخذهم معك على البلد.
طبعا راح اخذهم معي على البلد، لانه هدول مصرية تبعوني الي.
يا الله، محلاك هيك وانت بتقولها فيها شكل عاطفي وانفعالي. هذا الحكي كله ما بعنيني.
شو بدك مني بالضبط؟ ها؟
انا ما بدي منك ولا شيء، انا بس بحاول اشرح لك انه انت لحالك راح تضلك قاعد معي هين. عارف ليش؟
بديش اعرف
لا
ليش.
بدك تعرف، عشانك عبد. انت في البلد كنت عبد للنظام، وهنا انت عبد للمصاري. انت ما إلك حريه، انت يا اما شيء يا اما حدا بيمتلكك.
انا راجع.
بتهيألك.
غصب عن راسك راجع.
بتهيألك، لانه هدول اللي بين ايديك هم اللي راح يمنعوك ترجع.
هدول راح يمنعوني ارجع.
ايوه،
ولك هدول راح يمنعوني ارجع. ولك هدول راح يمنعوني ارجع.
ولك ليش بتسوي؟
ولك شو راح يمنعوني؟ ولك شو راح يمنعني ارجع؟
خلاص
ولك شو راح يمنعني ارجع؟
شغال. ولك انت
Oh dear, I've done it again. So the last sequence that I want to show you is when, at the end of the play, the worker decides that he's going to commit suicide, and the intellectual says, "Well, I'll write your last letter for you." So he gets a pen out, he starts, writing the letter for him, but he keeps changing it, and he uses classical Arabic instead of the idiom that the play is spoken in. And this is the sequence.
يعني انا على اساس بدك تنتحر.
اكون مش عاجبك كمان.
بالعكس، عجبني كثير. الانتحار هو التعبير الاقصى عن الحريه. لمين بتوجه كلماتك الاخيره؟ مرتك ولادك؟ ولا نسيت ان عندك مره ولاد؟
ولك انا وين وهم وين؟ والله غير ربك ما بسمعهم صوتي.
طب اكتب لهم رساله.
هلقيت
احسن شيء من هلقيت طالع فوق.
طب جيب ورقه وقلم واكتب.
تفضل.
مرتي العزيزة.
زوجتي الحبيبة.
وأنتم يا أطفالي الأعزاء.
وأنتم يا أطفالي يا فلذات كبدي.
أيوه، بون أخبركم أنني بخير والحمد لله.
بداية أود أن أعلمكم بأنني بخير.
الحمد لله.
بداية أود أن أعلمكم بأنني بخير.
والحمد لله.
يا زلمة صرعت يا عم، أنت هلقيت طالع عنده. بعدين
شو بعدين؟ وأنا أموري على العال.
وأنا أحوالي جيدة في السماء
زي ما في الأرض.
كما في الأرض.
نفس الشيء.
تمام.
لحظة، ليش كتبت في السماء؟
كيف ليش كتبت؟ انت شوي وطالع على السماء.
انت بدك تشلطها لمرتي من اول الرسالة.
بعدين
اكتب زي ما بقول لك بالضبط، فاهم ولا لا؟
بكتب لك بس على طريقتي الخاصة.
طيب.
سأشنق نفسي أنا حبيبكم الأب. موا خذ وجهك. ترجع البلد وراح تبني احلى بيت من احجار الحريه، مش اي حجار. اولادك راح يتعلموا احسن تعليم، وانت كمان رح تشتغل احسن شغل وتجيب اكل لاهل بيتك. والقانون راح يحميك ويحافظ على كرامتك وحريتك. رح ترجع عمرك ما رح تكون عبد، لا انت ولا اولادك. نعيم مصر مخرج. مخرج العمل.
I mean, they introduced the team that worked on the play and the curtain call, and that is the first performance of the emigrants that was given in Gaza. Many other, we raised more money for more presentations of this play to take place. It struck a chord there with audiences. And it's a little bit harsh to cut it up like this and show you chunks of it, but I just want to give you an impression of what the work was and what it contained, and just to give you a little bit of a feeling of what has led up to it. So I feel now that we should hear a little bit from Gaza, because I feel as if I've gone on for far too long. But anyway, so first of all, can you tell us what this play, The Emigrants, meant for you? What your impressions of it were? Any one of you?
مين حابب يقول ايش كانت بتعني له هاي المسرحيه وكيف اثرت فيه؟ اللي حابب يحكي بالعربي بنترجم او بالانجليزي اللي بده، اللي حابب يقول شيء. بتقرب على الشاشه كثير علشان الصوت بتعلي صوتك.
It was acting the young people from Gaza who travels to Europe and other countries to found themselves and or maybe achieve their dreams, but they shocked by the reality from there that's their life is not easy, and maybe in Gaza it will be mercy more than in other countries, another words time. It was so surreal.
Surrealism. Yeah. شباب مين حابب يقول ايش عن المسرحيه؟ محمد قول. اي حد بالعربي يا عم بالعربي قول.
انا بني ادم بحكي عن وجهه نظري، انا كان حلمي اني اسافر اطلع برا غزه واعيش فتره شبابي والاقي مستقبلي بس المسرحيه هذه اثرت فيها كثير، وضحت لي انه الحياه مش ورديه في اوروبا والحياه مش
Jawdat is saying that since long time part of his dreams was to go abroad, to live outside, to find his path out of Palestine, believing that he would have better opportunities. After watching the play, he realizes facts that he did not consider, that redemption would not or may not be there, and it is that risky. It is not an alternative for what our life here in Gaza.
Yeah, I think you ought to come to the front of the.
تعال قدام بالله يا حبيبي علشان.
Otherwise, we.
There
There are some.
Yes, he's coming. Kareem.
الصراع اللي صار بينهم هم في غرفة، يعني بيبين انه في مساوئ في الغربة، بس في اشياء حلوة. لما رقصتوا في ليلة راس السنة، لما قعدتوا انكم في يعني بدهم يشربوا مشروطة راس السنة ويكيفوا وينبسطوا، في اشياء حلوة بتكون في الغربة. يعني مش كله
well, despite the conflict between both of them, but there were some slight of happiness and joy between them, especially when they celebrated the new year, when they got some drinks and enjoy it.
وفي بس انه في شيء حلو بيطلع بالاخر، يعني اوكي في كمية خراب.
يعني he realizes that the to be immigrant is really not really that wonderful, but still there are some advantages that might not be found in Gaza as well.
Spaces of freedom.
Yeah. مين حابب يقول ايش؟ احكي محمد اللي ما حكاش. ادهم محمد. هاي.
بصراحة نفس اللي حكاه الشاب، يعني الأشياء اللي رغم كل الأشياء اللي يعني الدمار والحصار والأزمة، بس في شيء في النهاية، في شيء حلو في النهاية.
Well, Adham is saying that despite what we live here through, despite the war, the destruction, the blockade, still we have life which has its own beauty here in Gaza.
And it showed that how is our life so difficult here or outside, and because here there is not a lot of opportunity here, and outside we cannot find the perfect opportunity that we dreamed here. And traveled for it. We shocked from the reality, how we say.
Was it unusual for you to watch a play?
كان إشي جديد مختلف بالنسبة لكم تشوفوا مسرحية أول مرة؟ Muhammad said that it was the first time he watched a play live. Yeah.
العمل المسرحي او هذا قليل جدا عندنا في البلد. نادر لما حد يقوم على عمل مسرحيه جديده او اي مسرحيه ثانيه. شيء قليل جدا جدا جدا.
Theater productions in Gaza are very rare, so and it is not public that people could find it anytime or anywhere. So yes, many of them did not see theater shows before. Some yes.
عمري 25 سنة والمسرحيات اللي حضرتهم 3 or 2 enough.
So he is 25 years old where he watched only 2 or 3 plays. Muhammad, it was the first play ever he watched. Yusuf.
أول امبارح كانت المسرحية الثانية في أيام المسرح.
Yeah, Yusuf. Yesterday it was his second experience to watch a play, a theater day production yesterday. The first experience was to watch The Immigrant.
الشعب الغزي او الشباب الغزيين يعني يأسوا وسئموا من المقالات او الاخبار او الجلسات حتى التوعويه اللي ممكن ان نشوفها بلا يعني عديمه الفائده او مش عديمه الفائده لانها مجرد كلام بس لا يوصل الفكره.
The social life is so limited in Gaza that the young people are got fed up. They are despaired and they don't have. There is no space for them to express like art arenas. So there is only like workshops trainings, seminars. They got fed up with it, and spaces for entertainment, for relaxing, for expressing is really very limited here for young people.
When I was looking at this play, I felt at certain points that it wasn't to do with emigration, it was to do with Gaza. It was to do with the situation of Gaza, that in a way you could be said to be living in a basement, and the world above you is ignoring what's happening in that basement. And that really brought something home to me about the power of the imagery in drama. And I wondered whether there was any inspirations amongst you for producing producing pictures or images of of our world, this world that we believe we share.
Well, thank you very much for this perception. It's amazing that you got that perception. جوناثان بيقول إن شاف المسرحية، شافش اثنين مهاجرين في الهجرة، شاف غزة محصورة في البدرم، والناس اللي فوق هذول هم العالم الآخر اللي مش قادرين أهل غزة يطلعوا ويشوفوه ويعايشوه ويعرفوه. Wow.
That is a very interesting way of view. Honestly, I didn't think about it that way. Hi, Jonathan. Like this point, I actually did not think of the play in that way, and it's very interesting because now that I'm thinking about it, it is kind of like that room is Gaza, and the outside world, it's everything outside Gaza. But I wanted to say hi for everyone. I saw the play live when they first played it in Gaza, and it was one of the best experiences I've had. The play made us laugh, made us cry, made us reflect, and it actually incorporated the Gaza situation, because especially in the past years, I personally know a lot of young male or like young people, especially guys, that risk everything to leave Gaza because they thought they're going to, to live their dreams and they're going to have the best future. They thought that the moment they step outside of Gaza, all their problems will go away. They felt that they are gonna just like have this huge amount of opportunities and they are gonna just live happily. But then they go outside, they leave Gaza, and reality hits, and they live all the hardships and that the play tried to show us. So, but at the same time, I mean, it's very important that I really think it is important for this play to continue being played in Gaza for more people to see it, especially young people who just think that travel or leaving Gaza is the solution for all of their problems, because it really is not. And unfortunately, I work with youth at my work, and when we talk about the situation, unfortunately, a lot of them have this belief that they just need to leave Gaza to build their future, and they just and that's why they stop trying. Like many of them, they just stop trying to do something about their future within Gaza. So yeah, that's my view about the play, and honestly, it is one of the best plays that I've seen in Gaza and outside Gaza. They did an amazing job.
Well, it's good to know that it was good, Shuk, and thank you for your comments.
Thank you. Can I share a small sad news just happened today? Maybe you heard 2 weeks ago about a boat has been thrown on the shores of Tunisia. It was full of Palestinians. Today, the Palestinian authorities informed by the Tunisian authorities that they found 7 bodies of young people from Gaza. I'm sorry,
That's
but
very sad.
I find it very linked to the play and to this event. This is part of the reality of Gaza. Those young people who really lost completely the hope, knowing that going to the path of illegal immigrants might lead them to this destiny, yet they go for it, and many of them just drown.
Yeah.
Of course, the situation is desperate, and my heart stops when you tell us that story, Hossam. And
I'm sorry,
everybody. No, of course. I just felt the reality that people. And you know, I mean, we grieve for those young people, of course, and it stops our hearts. I think everybody in the room took an in-breath here in London when you told that story. It's tragic and awful, and we can't say that producing plays is going to solve the problem.
No,
not going to solve the problem. There are other ways that will happen that solve it, but it can be a part of solving the problem. That we can engage in creative relationships, and that's what I've felt, and I've always said that I've learned far more about the world from Hossam and Jamal and the work that we've done together than they will have learned about the world. But anyway, it's an unfair exchange in that respect. But I wonder whether there's anybody in the room here who has got a question that they want to ask. We've got a group of very nice young people there in Gaza. Are there any observations or questions that people have? Since people are being confronted by that idea, it will take a little time for them to think about it. I know that Case there is from Gaza. We have people from Gaza as well. There's David Harold there, who's worked with the Palestine Trauma Center, and you're from Gaza. No. Well, you could ask the question directly. I think it's much nicer to look at your face. But come and sit here and ask it.
Hi. Thanks. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, I was just wondering if there is there anything else that you feel that could be done from outside of Gaza that could help spread the message of what's actually happening there on a wider scale.
وصلت السؤال بسأل إذا في شيء إحنا بنقدر نعمله من برا بخصوص غزة.
I hope that you could continue in this place, and that I suggest that we showed how we suffer, and you and both of us put our solutions and to try to fix this life and this difficult life and this place.
يعني نترجم حياتنا من خلال مسرحيات أكثر.
إنه إحنا نستمر في عمل مسرحيات سائلة، إنه إحنا نظهر المعاناة وإحنا نحاول جميعا إحنا الاثنين، يعني هم وإحنا نحاول برضه من وسط الفن والدراما نضع حلول للحياة. يعني ما بدنا بس نعرض المعاناة أو نعرض المشكلة، نحاول نعرض حلول، ندمج يعني وصف أو أحداث درامية للمشكلة، الحبكة والحل. ما بدنا نضل بس إنه واقفين في نقطة الشوط.
Well, Yusuf, he would love to see productions that shows the problem, but also propose practical solutions for the problem. Now, I don't know how much possible is this. I don't believe that the theater has the solution for any problem. Theater responsibility, from my point of view, is just to present a problem, to analyze it, and to share it, and to brainstorm about it, where people all together look for the solutions, but not the play itself. So أنا اللي حكيته إنه المسرح بحطش حلول ولا مسرحية في الدنيا تنتهي من الحل. لكن المسرحية بتعرض قضية ترميها للنقاش واللي بيشوفوها كلهم هم بصير عصف ذهني بحيث انه مع بعض يطلعوا.
المسرح بحط تاثير اكثر، يعني كان مثلا
بيأثر.
المهاجران كانت مسرحيه عظيمه جدا جدا
يا
جدا،
سلام.
بتوصف قديش كان في يعني قديش المعاناه والشباب بينصدموا بالواقع الموجود من غزه، او يعني لما يطلعوا برا غزه شو بشوفوا. كان في ممكن او امكانيه انه مثلا الكاتبين او الوضعين سيناريو المسرحيه يكون في مثلا شخصيه اخرى او شخصيتين اخرتان يمثلوا انه الناس اللي فكرت صح. هذا اللي كيف بدل ما كان يسخر امكانيته فانه يحط جل قدرته ليسافر برا، كيف كان ممكن ينجح بلده. انه في مكان بتقول لك انه انت ما تفكرش انه هذا المكان مش هذا المكان المناسب لك، لكن انت شوف ايش بتقدر
يعني
تعمل في
هذا
المكان.
نقاش يمكن اخر. خلينا هنا اكثر نجاوب على اسئله. هذا نقاش لنا
ايش ممكن يعملوا؟
ايش هم ممكن يعملوا؟ ايش قول لي كريم.
هم ممكن يعني ياخذوا منا هم يشتغلوا على مسرحهم، واحنا ناخذ منهم يشتغلوا على مسرحنا، ومع بعض جمهورنا وجمهورهم يبروا.
Okay, so well, this is a proposition from Karim that you could take from our stories and produce it there. We can take some of your stories and produce it here, and we enlarge the exchange between us.
I want to add something because I think it's very important to what my friend just mentioned. It is important, like it's something that people outside of Gaza can do, is to actually produce the stories of people in Gaza. Because as Hussam mentioned, the role of the play is not to solve the problem, but to highlight the problem for the audience or for the people to take action. So when people outside of Gaza working in theater try to produce something related to Gaza, that means the audience outside of Gaza can actually, can realize there is a problem there. What can we do about it? And what resources do we have? What power is in our hand to make a change? What action can we do to make a change and help people in Gaza? So I think that's a very great point to start working on for the theater outside of Gaza to help.
Yeah, I'm listening very carefully to this. I'm really, that I'm interested. You can see from the work that we've done, I'm interested in creative outcomes, and I'm thinking about this kind of forum between young people, well, creative people. Who cares about young, old? I don't know, but you got your young people there creating some kind of ongoing program of trying to compose the shape of a piece of work that derives from both places, so that we can try to offer a kind of picture of this shattered world that we live in. And maybe if I can find and think of a way of setting that up, then I will, and I'm interested in doing so. There may be other people that have things to say. It's not a question.
Yeah.
Well, then come and ask it.
It just.
You have to sit there.
Okay. Right.
Nice to see you, Norman.
You too. Just to say that performance of the emigrants was just so powerful, and it was as though the audience and the director and the actors and the material all came together in a kind of wonderfully not explosive but powerful, resonating way. And I just wondered how it felt, although Shuk's already talked about that, how it felt to be part of that experience and how it felt afterwards, because you could almost feel the energy and the intensity, and it communicated, even though I didn't really understand the words, but there was something very exciting happened there. And I just wondered what happened afterwards and during that. Anyway, thanks.
That's a question for Hossam and Jamal to try to define what it was that was vital about that piece of work. Was it the script? Was it the direction? Was it the mixture of different things that you managed to bring together?
Well, in fact, that experience, I have to say, it's amazing, this question where you were able to grasp part of what was behind the scene and what was behind the final image of the play. And I can admit now and before everybody here that it was a very tough experience creating this piece. It was really not easy. We fought a lot. We disagreed a lot. We we produced the play over 7 months, not day by day, because in many times we just could not go to the stage. We were so frustrated. The play is so tense. The characters having this deep conflict, internal conflict, reflecting it on each other, which was sometimes reflected on Jamal and Hossam and Naeem, the director. We were in many days not in real peace, and we had to break, to go back, to leave the play for some time and then to come back, but I think the result was worth it. I think the final result would not be in this quality as we see it if we wouldn't go through that hard moments producing the play. Well, this is what I can say. I don't know if Jamal wants to say something.
I will not add a lot. The idea behind this play, it was exhausting us at the beginning, but we have a big honor after. Having it on the stage. It was like a birth. It was
like what? Like
a birth.
Giving birth.
Giving birth.
Yes.
Exactly.
With all the agony and the pain and the blood. Yeah.
With all what we had as a conflict inside the characters, between the characters themselves and the characters the outside the world, wherever they were, but also within each character by itself, there were a huge conflict in the personal side and subjectively, and also between the two characters. But was a big joy after.
Yeah.
A big honor, a big happiness. And it was like an achievement of creation. I felt a god that moment.
Yes.
I felt the king.
Yeah.
I remember Shog was telling us something. Shog and some other of her colleagues and her friends, they were coming to one of the early rehearsals. They came once. We were just having one table and 2 chairs, and they saw how we make a rehearsal. And I recall very well when she saw the play, she approached us and said, "What? This is the result of what we saw? We never expected to see this."
Yeah.
Do you remember, Shog?
Well, I hope everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, Shuk, there you go. Yeah, but I hope everybody there understands what Hossam and Jamal said. Then I hope that because you're speaking English, I hope that everybody understands who doesn't have English. Whose English is not as good as yours. You can translate what you've said. It's very, very important to convey that experience back to the people. One of the things that we tried to do with this project was to create a group of young practitioners that would surround the project, and in order to get a more direct creative benefit for young people actively participating in the project. And that's why Shuk and the other young people were invited into the rehearsal because we felt it was very important to make that sharing. It's very difficult to work with young people. We haven't managed yet to keep a group of young people together. And I'd like to ask you there what they think the secret to working with a group of young practitioners in Gaza might be. What do we have to do in order to get the commitment of people there to work? And I'm asking as well if there are any more questions. I want to have some interaction going.
كيف نشد مجموعة من الشباب
أنا فاهم
Talk a bit about
إنه يعني يكونوا involved يعني نكمل المسيرة.
Yeah, well, that's part of what the play is about. Yeah.
احنا لسه مع بعض.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's using this technology that is you know, having meetings is not like face to face. But
هلا مش عارف. Anybody speaking there?
Sorry?
Anybody is speaking because somebody was trying here to answer your question.
Yes, that's right. We were just speaking while you were talking yourselves. So
Yeah.
we'd like to hear the
We're translating what happened just before.
Sure.
So we are done. We are done.
The idea behind this that maybe you had the chance, Hussam and me, in the last 30 years to work a theater in parallel with our work, because we were like, and still employees, we have limited hours of working. But the youth now, with 20s or 30s, if they want to make theater, they have to do it after the 12 hours of work that they have to do wherever they are working. And it's a different reality now in a way or another. This is one of the difficulties that the youth is facing now in Gaza. It's different time, it's different situation, it's different conditions. It's harder condition. But still, some people maybe have the talent or they have the will to do it. And what we were thinking with the guys before we start the conversation, that maybe we can make some kind of training, long-term training, to create some kind of ambitious people to be ready to get in and to be involved and to continue, and maybe to produce something at the end, but maybe to plant some kind of a desire to go on with this cooperation, with this theater, with this way of living. Because we know that nobody can live out of the theater, especially in Gaza. So it's some kind of balancing, and this balancing is not always easy.
Yeah. No. I think that's absolutely true. I mean, what I've been concerned with over this last period is how can we help you and Hossam to give your experience and your ability and your talent to younger people? How can we create a legacy for the project that we've been involved in that will go on rolling through the creative life of people, young people in Gaza? This is a major preoccupation somebody who's 73, as I am, you start thinking about the future in a different way. It's not your future anymore, but you have to hand it on to other people. And
You're
that
right.
seems to me to be important.
وبسأل ايش اللي ممكن نسويه عشان
نسلم الراي.
نسلم الراي.
Well, we are totally agreeing with you, Jonathan, and that's why we proposed in the last meeting, if you recall, that our next, we totally agree with you, Jonathan. It's also our future is something should be a little bit different. It should be a kind of transferring the flag to the second generation. And if you recall the last meeting, our idea was that our next step is to do something with a group of young people. Young people who are really a lot. They are present, they are talented, and they are looking for any opportunity. Transferring some of our experience to them would be the best to do now for us.
It's like it's like the mother in Deir al-Balah said, the children are our future. And
exactly.
Okay, well, but that training has to be intensive, and it has to be serious. But we can talk about that at more length. Gregory Bonpont from France come over specially for this meeting, and he has a question for you. Gregory, please.
Gregory. في حد اسمه Gregory.
Hi everybody.
Hi Gregory, good evening.
How are you? First, I just want to say I'm very shameful because I apologize because my English is very not perfect. So I feel a little bit shy and shameful. Sorry.
No, you're fine, Gregory. You're fine. No worries. Please go ahead.
I'm very happy to participate for this event. I want to thank you, Jonathan, and I'm very happy to meet you from Gaza. Just few words. Who I am a director, theater director, and I made a play about it's okay about the psychiatre Sama who is Palestinian, and I made an adaptation of her chronicles. For me, it's the best way to speak about apartheid and the necessity of freedom for Palestine, justice. So maybe I don't have a question. I just want to share my testimony, my experience, my artistic experience, because it's the first time I see Jonathan, and I feel something very energetic, like the necessity to find some other ways to work together. So just I want to say that, in my opinion, my own goal is very easy in my head. My own goal is the end of apartheid. It's the end of crime. So, but in reality, it's very difficult. But when I created the play, I didn't create it only to make a testimony. I created this with certitude. Je l'ai créé avec la certitude.
I mean, he wrote with a great certainty.
Yes. Je l'ai créé avec la certitude qu'il y avait un impact politique pour changer la réalité.
Because he wanted to make a political impact, to change the reality. This was a play produced in France.
And in France, it's very difficult to talk about Palestine because I think it's the same maybe in Great Britain or in other country, but I'm talking about France because I'm French. And in France, it's very difficult because when you have an opinion against Israel, you're yes,
You're accused of anti-Semitism.
yes.
This is Palestine as a. This is something that we could go into more deeply, but Palestine as an issue, you know this, from what we've talked about before, is used as a kind of way of silencing opposition to our own government. You can't believe it, but this is a major, major issue, and this is what makes work on Palestine and with Palestinians so significant for us, I think.
Thank you. Yes. So maybe to finish, I wanted to say that with a lot of yes, with a lot of humility, that I understand the necessity to work together, to thinking about other ways to create a workshop, theatrical workshop. But I hope that with this play, beyond the front lines, we hope to make an international diffusion in Palestine, maybe in Great Britain. I'm here also for this. But we hope to make this diffusion in Middle East, and it's a way to tell you that we have on se sent solidaire.
This comes out of a sense of solidarity with the situation in Palestine, and an understanding of how important it is, not necessarily just for you, but for us, that it's important. And it comes out of that sense of solidarity, which is a two-way process. And I think that I'm extending it, but I mean, this is what I think we're talking about.
So sorry for my English, but
don't be sorry. Be proud. Don't be sorry. Be proud. We clap for you, because I know the difficulty that you are facing with your government. I know that anti-Semitism is really enabling people to do many things for Palestine and other places in the world. But also, you are totally right. Israel is not becoming an occupation anymore. It is an apartheid regime since many years. They are really squeezing the Palestinian in small islands, and repeating the apartheid regime and system of the South Africa. We really appreciate what you are doing, and really proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself. This is an amazing piece that you can do. This is the role that we are expecting and hoping and wishing that this be growing up. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sure of something, because the play is between dance and theatre. Because with dance, all the emotions, all the words which could talk with only the body. And it was very difficult to make adaptation about psychiatric chronicles.
Mhm.
And I'm talking about, I was talking about the political effect of the play. And to have this political consequence, it's okay?
Yeah, consequences.
I try to develop shamanic sensation.
A kind of, Gregory is talking about this sort of way of performing where there is almost a kind of spiritual depth and movement to the actual work that actually goes to deeper places in our humanity and deepens the sense of where we are. And I believe your production of The Emigrants does this. It has a general force. And I think that what we're looking to produce are pieces of work that have this deep humanity in them. And so I think that this is a part of what you're expressing. We are moving now a little bit on to the, it's wonderful to have them, thank you. There may be responses that you have, but it's a good opportunity for somebody else to say, ask any questions that they want to ask or make any points that they want to make. Yes.
I would like to say one sentence here.
Yeah. So go on.
Just one sentence after our friend's speech about apartheid.
Yeah.
The difference between a man and another, or a woman and another, a life and another, a play and another, a work and another, is the value.
Do you think you could expand on that a little bit, Jamal? What do you mean?
I mean, the difference between anything and the other, a person and the other, is the value of what this person is getting or adding to the life.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think that's right. I think that in a way we're obsessed with quantities and thinking of things only as being different if they're bigger or smaller than each other. But I think that when you're talking about the difference being to do with the quality and that being associated with value, I think that I can see that. Yeah. But keep going. Have you got anything more to say?
No. I was just listening.
Okay.
I want to add something, please.
Yes, do, please.
Hello, Jonathan. Hello, everyone.
This is, well, she's famous in herself, but I mean, she's also Jamal's daughter. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so I want to go back a little bit, talking about the play and our feelings about the play, since I watched it many times and saw it live. And since living with Jamal in the same house, I would actually see him thinking about it and living it for so long. So like a few years ago, before starting this work, he was living the pain of wanting to leave his country for the better life, but not wanting to leave his country for the better life, which was like, it was a fight inside his head. Till today, every night he's in the same fight, he's in the same thoughts, he's in the same place, but still our country is the better place for us. And we are the people who are going to make our country the better place for us. And talking about the trainings and the collaborations we want to make this work go on and on for like so many people coming and wanting to have this place a better place and a better environment, I would like to highlight a point about like making workshops and trainings for the people, for the older people I want to explain why, because we're not teenagers, we're a little bit older than this, but like 20 years old are not free as human beings. They're still in their family houses. If I can like explain this, if you could understand me, we're not like living and we're not independent in our life. And I think they need to learn and they need to know that this is not a waste of time. Theater is not a waste of time. Theater for them is a waste of time. It's sometimes for some people it's I don't know what they call it, but it's كيف بنحكي مش مناسبة أو مش
not appropriate or
it's not appropriate.
Yeah.
Yes. And I don't want like females in the in the private part of this to be out of this project, because unfortunately this what happens all the time. Males can go out for longer hours to do what they want to do, and it's when it comes to females, it's a bit more difficult to go through. So these 2 points are, I think, are important to make this project go bigger.
Thank you very much, Yara. It's very important. Yeah. It's very important that we create access. If the experiences are intensive, then they've got to have access as well, because it's very important that that women and that aspect of society is expressed in the work. And you know, it happens that there are 2 men in this particular production, but in the past, Theatre for Everybody has worked with women, and that's been something that in War and Peace, for example, was considered to be something that might be a problem, and that the production might be closed down because of this sharing of space, the creative space between men and women, but also the observations about what it means to be young in Gaza is also very, very important to take account of. So Yara, thank you very, very much for your contribution. We really are moving towards the end of this exchange, and I know that we'll maybe have a few words here before we leave, but I'm thinking that Case, come and speak here, please. Don't be shy.
Hey guys, I'm Kais Atala. I'm from Gaza, actually. I came 2 years ago. Yeah, I came 2 years ago from Gaza here. I actually worked with theaters in Gaza. I'm an actor. I worked in many films in Palestine, and I worked with theaters with Ali Abu Yassin, if you know him.
Yes.
Yeah, I worked with him in Gaza. If you know my film, it's The Idol. It's about Ya Tayr Tayr, Muhammad Asaf. Yeah, so I was the main character in that film. So I just want to say, if there is a way, I might visit Gaza in the summer for 3 months or something. If there is a way I can help with this project in Gaza or in London in any way, as you mentioned, that there will be change of ideas that, for example, like plays that can be played here and vice versa in Gaza that we can find here in the UK. So it's like, is there any way I can help when I'm in Gaza or even when I'm in London?
Can you repeat the last sentence? Or
if you want me to explain in Arabic as well, I can do, but I'm not sure if
it's the last.
Yes, why not for the
just the last sentence.
كنت بحكي بانه اذا لانه انا بالإلي انه انا رح انزل على غزة ممكن بالصيف الجاي. فبحكي بانه على كيف انتم كنتوا بتحكوا بتبادل المسرحيات اللي ممكن انتم تنعرض هون بلندن هي من افكاركم، والعكس من الافكار هنا تنعرض بغزه. فاذا في اي فرصه بانه انا اساعد بهاي المشاريع، بانه انا اكون لما بنزل بغزه اذا انا بساعد، او اكون زي جسر لما حتى وانا بلندن اذا بقدر اساعد من عندي من مكاني يعني.
جميل جميل، بسعدنا
طبعا
نلتقي فيك اكيد.
welcome of course. I mean
طبعا
يعني we are ready I mean for any kind of cooperation on this matter, and we are waiting for this. Whenever you come to Gaza, please contact us.
Let's meet and talk.
يعني slightly known, but you can get our numbers from Jonathan or anywhere.
Or from Ali.
Or from Ali, and we will sit and talk, and we think together.
Yeah, sure. My pleasure. It will be my pleasure.
For sure.
شرفنا حبيبي.
شكرا.
ربنا يوفقك يا رب. هذا اللي مثل حياة محمد عساف في الفيلم.
We've got a few. We're starting to say we have. This is serious stuff. I mean, the things that we've said, the work that we've outlined, the kind of basic markers that we've put down about the work that might take place are serious, and we're going to have to close this meeting. But there are a few people that just want to say hello, and so this is the wind up. I mean, it's the wind down, maybe.
احنا وصلنا للنهاية، بس في بعض الناس حابين يحيونا ويقولوا مرحبا.
مرحبا.
مرحبتين.
أنا Yante. I've met Jamal and Yara before, various years ago. I don't know if you remember, we did a thing together with Jonathan and Maysoon. I just wanted to say, Jamal, you're one of the coolest people I've ever met.
Thank you.
Exhibit. You have such an amazing presence and energy, and something just so rebellious, muqawim, but in a very human and fun way. And it's always very inspiring just to see you and your collaborators, and also to see Yara so grown up and mature as ever. So lovely seeing you. Thank you for your time and your words and everything.
Many thanks. Many thanks. You touched me. I'm very happy to hear this.
Until soon. فرصة سعيدة. تشرفنا.
تشرفنا. شكرا.
My friends, now can I say hello? Yes, you can. Yes, I knew you were. I see. I was trying to get people to do this a little bit earlier.
Hi.
Hi.
It's David. Good to see you again.
Hi, David. Hi. How are you?
Thank you, David.
I miss you both, but it was good to see you when I was in Gaza. I just want to pick up something Jonathan said earlier about the connections between us.
Yeah.
When I am speaking with my people in Gaza, if they are strong, I am strong.
Oh dear.
You have to remember, I'm saying this, I think, on behalf of Jonathan as well, that we feed off your strength. You are so strong, so persistent, and that inspires us. I just want you to know that.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Many
very much.
thanks. Many thanks there.
Yeah. Oh. Thank you. تذكروا اللي شفناه في مركز علاج الصدمة.
تذكرته.
Jonathan.
Yeah. So I mean, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for putting up with the presentation that I did and all the technical difficulties. I apologize for how messy it all is. It's so often the case with me. So how can we say goodbye except by saying goodbye? Yeah.
Love everybody, and thank you, Jonathan. Thanks for everybody.
We won't break into song, but we will meet again soon, and we'll follow this conversation up. Thank you for everybody.
Thank you, Jonathan, for everything.
Thanks,
everybody.
شكرا كثير. Bye.
This is for you,